You know, just when you think the world couldn't get any more effed up, first you have Spain that was like, you know what, Iraq, I'm out of here, dude. I don't want nothing to do with this war. Then you got Germany to the left. Now it's up to the Iraqi parliament as I'm speaking to you right now. Right now, they're putting it up to a vote to kick the U.S. out of Iraq entirely. They do not want the U.S. in there. They do not want these suicide bombers entering into their country. They do not want the war on their side of the sandbox. They have said, you know what? I want this war about as much as I want this war. And they're like, dude, you take this war and you can shove it up your ass with a lit candle on it, John Bolton. They do not want this war. I repeat, Iraq said, you know what? We're putting this up to a vote today, and we're going to be kicking the U.S. out of here real quick. So, this is a really, really big slap in the face to Trump and Bolton and Obama and Bush and every other president that fucked up Iraq. And it would have been so much better if they would have just left Saddam Hussein in power. The Middle East would have been not a shitstorm. There wouldn't even be ISIS. These things wouldn't even be created. Russia wouldn't even be in there. Wouldn't even think about it. Think how peaceful the Middle East would be if America never would step their foot into the Middle East and then muck the waters up and fuck everything up and then try to create peace and stability and democracy among people that don't want your shit. They have Sharia law, dude. That's it. Whether you like it or not, they don't give a fuck about your democracy, dude. The majority of the people that live in the Middle East want to live their way, not the U.S. of A. And if they want to leave their country, they'll leave their country if they want to live by U.S. law. That's why we have a lot of them that come to America. But this is not looking good for America. Like I said, America was told to get the hell out. They have no foothold in the Middle East right now over there. And I won't be surprised if they get kicked out by Syria. That'll be next. You watch. I have that crystal ball. Bashar Assad's going to probably get on the same bandwagon and say, hey, I want you out of my country too. I bet you all the countries are going to want the U.S. out of their country. Syria, there's roughly 2,000 U.S. Special Forces stationed in Syria, and God only knows how many in Iraq. Well, anyway, you can pretty much put that on your calendar too, that Syria is probably going to be putting this to a vote too. I'm sure they have their own parliament, and I'm sure they're going to be saying, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? If I was Syria and Iraq, I'd be saying the same thing. This is a war that nobody wants, and this is going to be a huge war. This is going to be a bloody one. This is going to be as bloody as Vietnam or worse. And this one is not going to be all confined just to that one sandbox. It's going to go on and on and on throughout the world. Iraq is the only country out there that you don't want to fuck with that has splinter cells all over the world, little tentacles everywhere. And they will give the green light to carry out blasts. So God bless all the people that have to. I feel bad for the State Department that has to. Now they have all these new terrorist cells that are now probably popping up that they have to take care of now. So it's a crazy world we live in. So there you go. America just got told pretty much they're getting it right now as I'm speaking to you. They're in the meeting right now. They're holding it right now. And you have a 99.999% chance they're going to say, America, get out. We don't want you in here. And you know what? I agree with them. Get out. We've been there too long and we're not accomplishing anything. Get the hell out of the green zone. Let them keep the green zone. We have no business being in Afghanistan anymore. We have no business being in Iraq anymore. We were never even invited into Syria, so we never even had any business being over there. That's fucking Vladimir Putin's fucking sandbox. That's his area to play. That's not our area to play. That's his area to kill terrorists. The ones that we fucking created under Barack Hussein Obama and Hillary Clinton and Biden! Biden! Trying to infringe upon my Second Amendment rights today. If you haven't seen that video, check it. It's a few videos before this. Biden wants to take away your Second Amendment rights. So next time you go to the polls and you want to vote for Biden, think again. He wants to come after your 22s, your shotguns, everything. He's saying anything and everything can be used as a killing, and I don't agree with the Second Amendment. Plain and simple. He wants to leave it to 5-round magazines and take away certain bullets and play God. Well, you ain't doing that in America, so thank God at least we got Trump in there. There's no way in hell that, unless Trump got us into a major war, and I mean a major war, in Iran, he's going to be your next president. Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe, doesn't have a chance in hell. You just lost the vote of about half of the country because you're anti-22 and 9mm handgun, shotgun, bird gun, squirrel gun. It don't matter. To old Johnny boy, to old Joe, Sleepy Joe, they're all considered lethal, deadly weapons that could be used in a school shooting. Hell, even a fucking hatchet. So there goes your, little boys going camping with dad. No, that weapon, that's a weapon now. That should be illegal. You could use that to hack up little other kids at the campsite. So, we want to take that right away from your little kids. So we're not gonna have them have it anymore rights anymore either, under fucking Joe Biden. I hate Joe. I think all the rest of you are not a big fan of Joe Biden. So I'm bet all the rest of you are saying I wish it was Bernie running against Trump. I'd much rather see Bernie in there than fucking Joe. So I wouldn't want to be a police officer if Joe Biden was your president. You imagine going door to door, all the cops out there listening to this? Imagine going door to door trying to disarm people? Puh! Yeah, they all know their bulletproof vest is only rated up to either 223 to 30-06 at best. That's at best. Well, there's guns out there that are far bigger and far meaner. They'll go right through those vests, and those cops don't want to go door to door. Trust me, they got a wife and kids, and they don't want to go, and they want to see their wife and kids again. That's why we don't vote for Joe Biden. But there you go. Right off the press, America is going to be set to be voted out of Iraq. It's going to happen whether you like it or not. This is a big slap in the face to be John Bolton and Trump. But they don't want you in there, dude. They do not want, and I agree with them. They don't want the war spilling into their country. That's their sovereign country now. You have no business being in there anymore. The war is over. Get out. Get the fuck out of Syria. Get the fuck out of Afghanistan. Bring all the brave men and women home. And start preparing for Nibiru. That's what needs to be done. Create world peace. Not more wars in the sandbox that nobody wants. Nobody wants to see that shit on the 5 o'clock news every night. Blowing up limbs here, blowing up limbs there in the morning when you're eating your Fruity Pebbles or whatever the fuck you eat. You're going to be seeing these things. You're going to see these images whether you like it or not. And it's going to be bad. And it's going to be at malls. It's going to be all over the world. This is the only country that invests highly, and I mean highly, into terrorism. So it's a shitstorm, and it's a can of worms that Iraq doesn't want in their country. And I agree with you. You may give me a thumbs down for that, but I don't give a fuck. All those people lost their lives in vain over there out of false news and false cake fucking lies about the war. It never should have happened. Saddam Hussein is a terrible, terrible, ruthless dictator, but you know it and I know it. Whether you want to agree with me or disagree with me, it doesn't matter. I don't care. The world would be a safer place, the Middle East, if Saddam Hussein, if he never would have been fucked with. You know it and I know it. All right, I love you all.